No one can come to me unless the Father has enabled him. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that is one of the hardest things, especially for Americans. This is not classic American culture, right? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Just put in a little more effort. It'll be okay. You know, if you study really hard in school, then you can do whatever you want to do. You are the captain of your own destiny, and the more effort you put in, the better it's going to be. This is a hard saying, but that, in American culture, is anathema to the gospel. That is not the gospel. The gospel is not just try harder, just do more good stuff, or even just go out and share Jesus with more people, and it'll be okay because your effort is going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be rewarded. That's not what the gospel is. The gospel is we are so broken. We are so messed up. We are so full of ourselves, so full of sin, that there is no hope for us, which is exactly what God does in sending Jesus, the bread of life. And then when we experience that, and the more we know ourselves, John Calvin writes this in the very first sentence of the Institutes on the Christian Religion, which is kind of his main thing. I highly recommend it. However, if you get lost in theological stuff, then you might not like it. But the very first sentence says, in order to know ourselves, we have to know God. And in order to know God, we have to know ourselves. The more deeply we know ourselves, the more deeply we see this desperate need we have for God, which is what Jesus, the bread of life, feeds, fills. Which is not then to say we do good things, we do share Jesus, we do all those things, but it grows out of this amazing gift that Jesus gives us of himself. And once God has enabled us, St. Anselm said years and years ago that we can only say yes to God because God has first said yes to us. The gospel is Jesus. Jesus is not saying do some more good stuff. Jesus is not even saying believe the right set of propositions. Jesus is saying believe me. This is what you get. Jesus is what we get as the object of our faith, is what we get.